Hello and welcome back our channel. Life moves fast, doesn't it? We wake up, we chase, we try, and sometimes we wonder, am I really moving forward or just running in circles? Today, I want to talk to you about something very simple, but very misunderstood. Success. Not the version you see on social media, not the version people show to impress others, but the quiet, honest truth about success. The kind that grows slowly, deeply, and stays with you for life. This is not a motivational speech. This is a real conversation. And maybe, somewhere in this story, you will find a piece of yourself. Part 1. The illusion we were taught. When we were young, success looked very clear. Good grades, a good job, a stable income, a house, maybe a car, and a life that others would admire. It sounded simple. If you follow the path, if you work hard enough, you will succeed. But as we grow older, something begins to feel different. We meet people who have everything: money, status, recognition. Yet they feel empty. We meet others who struggle financially, yet they seem peaceful, even happy. And slowly, a quiet question appears in our mind. What is success, really? The truth is, what we were taught was not completely wrong, but it was incomplete. We were taught to measure success from the outside, but real success is experienced from the inside. And this is where many people get lost. They spend years chasing goals that don't belong to them. They follow expectations that were never truly theirs. They climb a ladder, only to realize it was leaning against the wrong wall. And by the time they notice, they are already tired. Not physically tired, but emotionally tired. The kind of tired that sleep cannot fix. Because deep down, something is missing. Not money, not recognition, but meaning. Success, in its truest form, is not about how far you go, but about whether the direction is truly yours. And that's a question most people never stop to ask. Part 2. The quiet cost of chasing the wrong goals. There is a price that people rarely talk about. It is not written in books. It is not shown in success stories. And it is not visible from the outside. But it is real. Very real. It is the quiet cost of chasing goals that are not truly yours. At first, everything feels normal. You follow the path that others respect. You do what is expected. You move forward step by step. And from the outside, your life may even look successful. But inside, something begins to feel heavy. Not all at once. Not loudly. Just a small feeling that slowly grows over time. You wake up, but you don't feel excited. You work hard, but you don't feel fulfilled. You achieve something, but the happiness doesn't last. And then you move on to the next goal, hoping that maybe this time it will feel different. But it doesn't. Because the problem is not your effort. It's not your discipline. It's not even your ability. The problem is direction. Imagine walking for years on a road that looks right, but doesn't feel right. Every step takes energy. Every day requires motivation. And slowly, without realizing it, you begin to lose yourself. You stop asking what you truly want. You stop listening to your own voice. And instead, you live according to expectations. Family expectations. Society expectations. Comparison with others. And comparison is one of the most dangerous traps. Because when you compare your life to others, you don't see the full picture. You only see their highlights, their best moments, their visible success. But you don't see their struggles, their doubts, their sacrifices. So you start chasing an image, not a reality. And this is where many people get stuck. They build a life that looks good from the outside, but feels empty on the inside. And the hardest part? Admitting it. Because once you admit it, you have to face a difficult truth. Maybe I've been walking in the wrong direction, and that realization can be uncomfortable. But it is also the beginning of something powerful. Because the moment you become aware, you have a choice. You can continue the same path, or you can pause, reflect, and choose again. And real success always begins with that moment of honesty. Part 3. Success takes longer than you think. We live in a world that moves very fast. Fast results, quick wins, overnight success stories. Everywhere you look, you see people who seem to succeed quickly. They build something big in a short time. They reach important milestones early. They achieve more in less time. And slowly, without even noticing, we begin to expect the same for ourselves. If things take longer, we may feel like we are behind. If results don't come quickly, we may start to question our progress. But here is something important to understand. Real success often takes time. Not because you are lacking ability, not because you are not trying hard enough, but because meaningful growth is a gradual process. Think about nature. A strong tree does not grow overnight. It takes years for its roots to grow deep into the ground. It goes through different seasons: sunlight, rain, and even storms, before it becomes strong and steady. People grow in a similar way. The skills you develop, the mindset you build, the person you become, all of these take time. But when we compare ourselves to others, we often forget this. We see their results, but not the long journey behind them. We see the moment they succeed, but not the quiet days when no one was watching. And this can create a feeling that we should be further ahead. But success is not a race. There is no single timeline that everyone must follow. Some people find success early, some find it later, and some discover a completely different path. That fits them better. What really matters is not how fast you move, but whether you are moving in the right direction. Because moving quickly in the wrong direction can take you further away from what truly matters. Progress can feel slow sometimes. It can feel small. It can feel like nothing is changing. But often, the most meaningful changes happen quietly. You are learning. You are improving. You are becoming stronger step by step. And one day, everything that once felt slow will start to make sense. Not because it was easy, but because it was real. So if your journey feels slow right now, it doesn't mean you are failing. It may simply mean you are building something meaningful, something that will last. Part 4. Failure is not the opposite of success. Most people are afraid of failure, not just a little afraid, but deeply afraid. Afraid of making mistakes, afraid of being judged, afraid of trying and not succeeding. So instead of taking risks, they wait. They prepare more. They think more. They delay. They tell themselves, I will start when I am ready. But the truth is, no one is ever fully ready. And by waiting too long, they miss something important. Failure is not the opposite of success. It is part of it. Every meaningful path includes failure. Every person who has built something real has failed many times. But what makes the difference is not the failure itself. It is how they understand it. Some people see failure as proof that they are not good enough. So they stop. They step back. They avoid trying again. They protect themselves from pain. And slowly, they also protect themselves from growth. Others see failure differently. They see it as feedback, not a final answer, but a signal. A signal that something needs to change. A signal that there is something to learn. And because of that, they continue. Not blindly, not carelessly, but with more awareness, more understanding, more strength. Failure can be uncomfortable. It can hurt your confidence. It can make you question yourself. It can make you feel small. But it also does something powerful. It removes illusions. It shows you what doesn't work. It forces you to become more honest, more grounded. And in that process, you become stronger. Not outside, but inside. That kind of strength cannot be built through success alone. Because success often hides your weaknesses. Failure reveals them. And once you see them clearly, you have a chance to improve, to adjust, to grow in a way that is real. So the next time you fail, instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" try asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" That small shift can change everything. Because success is not built by avoiding failure. It is built by learning how to move through it. Part 5. Discipline matters more than motivation. Many people wait to feel motivated before they act. They tell themselves, "I'll start when I feel ready. I'll work harder when I have more energy. I'll be consistent when I feel inspired." And for a short time, motivation works. It gives you a push. It gives you excitement. It makes things feel possible. But motivation is unstable. Some days you have it. Some days you don't. And when it disappears, so does your progress. This is where most people struggle. They depend on a feeling. That was never meant to last. And because of that, they stop. Again and again. But real success does not depend on motivation. It depends on discipline. Discipline is quiet. It is not exciting. It does not always feel good. But it is reliable. It shows up on the days when you don't feel like doing anything. It keeps you moving. When progress feels slow, it helps you continue, even when no one is watching. And that is what makes the difference. Because success is not built in moments of high energy. It is built in small, repeated actions. Doing the work when it is boring. Showing up when it is uncomfortable. Continuing when results are not immediate. That is discipline. And over time, those small actions become habits. Those habits become your identity. And your identity shapes your future. But discipline is not about being perfect. It is not about never missing a day. It is not about pushing yourself to exhaustion. It is about consistency. Even if you move slowly, keep moving. Even if you do a little, do it regularly. Because small efforts, repeated daily, are more powerful than big efforts done once in a while. There will be days when you feel tired. Days when you doubt yourself. Days when you want to stop. That is normal. But those are also the days that matter the most. Because when you continue on those days, you are not just working toward a goal, you are building character. And character is the foundation of real success. So don't wait to feel motivated. Start small, stay consistent, and trust that over time, discipline will take you further than motivation ever could. Part 6. Redefining what success truly means. At some point in life, if you are honest enough with yourself, you will begin to question everything you once believed about success. Not because you failed, but because you have seen enough. You have seen people who made it, but are quietly unhappy. You have seen others who have very little, yet they live with peace, purpose, and a sense of fulfillment. And slowly, a new understanding begins to form. Success is not a number, not a title, not something you can simply show to the world. It is something you feel when no one is watching. Real success is waking up in the morning, without the weight of pretending. It is doing work that may not be perfect, but feels meaningful to you. It is having relationships where you don't have to wear a mask. It is being able to sit in silence and feel at peace with who you are becoming. This kind of success is quieter. It doesn't attract as much attention. It doesn't always impress others, but it lasts because it is not built on comparison. It is not built on pressure. It is not built on proving something to the world. It is built on alignment. Alignment between what you do and what you truly value. And that alignment changes everything. Because when your life is aligned, you no longer feel the need to rush. You no longer feel lost in comparison. You no longer chase things that don't belong to you. Instead, you move with clarity. You make decisions with intention. You accept that your path may look different. And most importantly, you stop measuring your life by someone else's definition of success. This does not mean you stop growing. It does not mean you stop aiming higher. But it means your goals come from within, not from outside pressure. And when that happens, something powerful appears. A quiet confidence. Not loud, not showy, but steady. The kind of confidence that doesn't need validation. The kind that doesn't disappear when things go wrong. Because it is built on understanding, not approval. So if you are still searching for success, maybe the answer is not to chase harder. Maybe the answer is to pause and ask yourself, what does success mean to me? Truly. And be honest, because the moment you define it for yourself, you take back control of your life. And now, before we finish, I want to leave you with one simple thought. Success is not something you arrive at. It is something you build, quietly, every day, in your choices, in your habits, in the way you think, and the way you live. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to move fast. You just need to move honestly, step by step, day by day. If this message spoke to you in any way, if it made you pause, even for a moment, then maybe this journey is something we can continue together. Take your time. There is no pressure. But if you feel ready, you can consider subscribing to the channel so you won't miss the next story. A story that might help you see things a little more clearly, a little more deeply. Until then, take care of yourself. And remember, your path does not have to look like anyone else's to be meaningful.